Of course, we keep it out west for a second because what happened last night was one of the more impressive performances we've seen. Chris Paul, 33 points on a perfect 14 for 14 shooting from the field. That is the most made shots without a miss in a playoff game in NBA history. And you take a look at where he shot from, all of those are off the dribble too. That was not one catch and shoot of those 14 made field goals off 14 attempts. So he's bringing our pros again. And Richard, let me ask you this specifically, okay? Considering Chris's height, how ball dominant he is, how impressive was it for him to go 14 for 14 in a closeout game on the road? I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah.
Not finals, not this. That is one of the more impressive performances that I've ever seen in my life in NBA history.
Agreed.
Because we're not talking about a big man. We're not talking about a guy catch and shoot. Chris Paul, and look, he's done it all in his career except win a championship. And to see his team in a spot where they needed to close out on the road, and you go 14 for, that's hard to do in a gym shooting set shots by yourself.
Preach.
Think about it. It's hard to go make 10 shots in a row in a gym by yourself. And for him to do that against a quality team, that's one of the most impressive performances we will ever see. And of course, they are the #1 seed in the West. They're going to play the Mavs in the second round. We're still waiting for the opponent for the Warriors. It's going to be dependent upon the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves. So with that said, let's look ahead to the Western Conference semifinals, regardless of who the Warriors play. Jalen, who do you like out in the West based on what these matchups are most likely going to be?
Like everybody, I could be hypnotized by watching the Golden State Warriors play offense, right? Here comes Poole between the legs, behind the back. They still have the Splash Brothers. But Phoenix is the best team in basketball, and they've been that the entire season.
Yes.
Think about what he just said about Chris Paul. Devin Booker came back last night. Mikal Bridges doesn't miss a game, locks down on D. Now he developed his game, Sinead. He catching off screens. He's shooting threes. He knocking down multiple positions. And the development from within on the Phoenix Suns roster, in particular with Ayton, who didn't get his max contract, but yet still their anchor, is going to be a difference maker when they play a team like the Golden State Warriors. That's why they drafted Wiseman, to give them some height. They still challenged in that area.
Why are you in my brain?
But check this out. To his point, I feel like they've shown us who they are all season. We keep trying to give them a reason why they're not who they are.
I think that based on this last series, I was concerned for the Suns based on the rhythm. Like, without Devin Booker, I thought that could have been a catastrophic thing to knock them off their rhythm. But instead, they took that adversity and said, hey, we're the team that was in the NBA Finals last year, and we got better. We improved, and you're seeing that better apply. And that's why the regular season matters, because they have proved that these players have arrived. Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton. We talk about Chris Paul going 14 for 14. DeAndre Ayton plus Chris Paul, what were they, 24 for 26 from the field in that game? So it was really impressive to me to not only see Chris Paul, but also the development, as you mentioned, of Ayton. And so when we look at the big the outlook of the Western Conference Finals potentially and the Warriors, I've always said for years the kryptonite could be that center position, because Draymond Green does an excellent job locking down players, including Jokic, defending him one-on-one, not forcing doubles, right? It could be. Well, you will need a dominant center to be able to go toe-to-toe with Draymond consistently and, use that mismatch, that force, that height difference. That's what the Suns have developed Ayton to be. So I feel like it's closer than what we think. Oh, the Warriors, they're fine-tuned. They've got the pool party. The margin of error is a lot closer for, the Warriors to slip versus the Suns to slip.
RJ?
So
Contrarian?
The graphic might pop up and say Warriors, but I'm going to say the Suns.
Okay.
And it's rare that we go across the board, but we were all talking here. And understand, when they've been comparing this Golden State Warriors team to like the 15 team, the 16 team, you're forgetting these large athletic wings that they used to have. Andre Iguodala in his prime. Livingston in his prime. These guys were defensive guys. Harrison Barnes, 6'7". They just had so much versatility. Now, while Jordan Poole offensively, outstanding. Gary Payton II, outstanding defender. But when you look at the balance that the old Warriors team used to have, and I think it's going to be very, very close. And all things being equal, if Devin Booker can get to Devin Booker status, then to me, I think the Suns have been the best team.
Wait,
they were
where's
the best
Richard's
team last
name,
year.
though?
They don't want to put it up
what
there.
up, RJ? You changed your answer? You changed your answer?
Our producer Brian on the graphic because he can never answer.
Your arguments were so compelling, you realized he was wrong.
Thank you.
So now I know we can can do that for
when
future
the facts
shows.
change, when the facts change, so will my opinions. When we talked before, my opinion was that.
What happened
It
was-
is very close.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong if you evolve with your thought process. There's nothing wrong with that,
Thank
RJ.
you. Thank
Don't let
you.
people shine you off that hill like that. All right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.